But this phrase, it's actually one word in the Hebrew, was moved with compassion. And this is a really powerful word. When you think about something being compassionate, whatever, it's deeper than just saying, oh, I'm compassionate towards that person, or I care about that person. This phrase, to be moved with compassion, is speaking of a kind of love and compassion that comes from the innermost core of who Jesus is. Why is that significant? Well, that means that it's a genuine, authentic, pure love that is not put on or a passing thought. It's not like, sometimes that's how it is for us. It's like, I have a lot going on, but I know I should be compassionate towards this person, so I will be. That's not what Jesus is doing here. Jesus isn't like, I was going to rest. Guess I should teach him something. Like, that's not what's going on here. It's sincerely authentic. It's coming from the core of who he is. And it's not just a passing thought either. It's like, oh man, it'd be nice if someone could help them. And then you forget about it. Like, oh wait, was I going to help that person to do that thing? Like, he's all in on this. It's something that stems from the very identity of Jesus. Jesus is the perfect embodiment of God. So of course he's loving. Of course he's full of compassion, because God is love. It's who he is. And so of course that's going to come from who he is. Pastor R. Kent Hughes wrote this concerning the compassion of Jesus. And this is an awesome quote. All right, so let's take a screenshot of this right here. Regardless of whether you are a believer or not, if you cannot imagine that Jesus has tender compassion for you, you simply do not know what he is like. Jesus felt it. And may we reverently understand that though he is glorified, he still does. 9 times in the New Testament, we read of Jesus having this deep compassion. Sometimes it was when he saw someone ill. At other times, because of the other effects of sin. Jesus has merciful compassion toward you and toward the needy world, just as he did toward the 5,000. Jesus' deep felt compassion propelled him among the people, and he labored long and intensely among them. My favorite part of this quote was the very first part. Is regardless of whether you are a believer or not, if you cannot imagine that Jesus has tender compassion for you, you simply do not know what he is like. Here's why this is significant. Jesus knew that there was people in the crowd, people he was moved with compassion toward, that would not worship him. He knew that. Jesus knew that there were people in the crowd, people that he was moved with compassion toward, that would deny him at some point. Jesus knew that there were people in the crowd, people that he was moved with compassion toward, that were just seeking a miracle but not seeking him. Yeah, give me a miracle. Don't really care about you or your teachings, but yeah, help me out. And we know this because that's what happens like next. Like, these guys come to him later after the feeding of the 5,000, like, hey, can you make some more food? That'd be pretty cool. And had no interest in him at all. But even though he knows these things, he was still moved with compassion toward them, because that's who he is. We've been spending literally weeks and months now studying in our Wednesday small group about how Jesus is gentle and lowly in heart, and that's who he is, and he reaches out in compassion and love. So may we rejoice that when Jesus sees us wandering like the sheep without a shepherd, and whether you're a believer or not, when he sees you wandering around, he has compassion towards you and wants to teach you and wants to guide you. And may we be transformed into having the same type of compassion as Jesus. Not a put on, not a passing thought, but may God transform our hearts to where our compassion, our love for people, just stems from who we are in Jesus. Of course we're going to be compassionate. Of course we're going to be filled with love for the people around us, because Jesus has transformed us. And if Jesus loves us and he is in us, then we should love like Jesus. But that is a miracle. And God's still working on us. Sometimes we can have these moments like, man, like God's really changed my heart. I have love for people I've never had love for. I've been able to forgive people I didn't think I could forgive. And other times it's really hard because it's not you. It's God at work inside.